everybody, and welcome to this edition of Girls Run These Worlds Dialect North Pole Edition. I am your friendly facilitator today. I will also be playing the game, and we are going to introduce our players, or have them introduce ourselves, and then I will tell you a little bit more about the game, and we will get started. So, I was like, what comes first? Me introducing myself comes first. There we go. All right. I got it. Everything's fine, y'all. Hello, my name is Jilly. You can find me at OlaKidsJilly most places on the internet. I tend to be around Girls Run These Worlds and Sword and Key and Nerds with Dice and other wonderful channels. We will get to that later. I'm also an editor, and so follow me on the internet and watch me play games and talk about the Oxford comma. Let's go to Ark next. Hello, Ark.
Oh, hey. I'm Ark, she, they pronouns. You can find me at Arcanian Ending everywhere, but I'm also on council here at Girls Run These Worlds, so you're at the right place to find me.
Rockin'. My pronouns are also she, her, which I forgot to say because I'm used to introducing it with a character, but in this game, we don't have pre-decided characters. So, let's go to Faye.
Oh, that's me. Hi, I'm Faye. My pronouns are any of them. All of them work. Whatever you're comfortable with for me, I'm comfortable with for me. You can find me at Faye Wild Witch on Twitter, what was formerly known as Twitter, or Faye Wild Witchling everywhere else. Either here at Girls Run These Worlds or on Little Witch RP, which is my company.
Yay! Excellent. Let us go to Jen.
Oh, heck, that's me. I need you all to know, first off, that I have been thinking about when you said hello, Ark. All I could think of was Hark. So, there's
Ark.
that.
Well, that's a thing now.
Second, hello, friends. I am Jen. My pronouns are she, they. I am your friendly local, don't tell Faye, burb. And that's me. I'm the CAO here at Girls Run These Worlds, aka the cow, everyone's favorite cow. And with that, I think there's only one person left, so I'm just going to go ahead and hot potato it off to Triss.
That's me! Hark the Herald Angels Sing, since we're doing a hark thing. I have 18 different names. You'll hear me give a different one every time. One of them is on CISA, and I use 3 different sets of pronouns. One of them happens to be the name of another player in this particular game, Faye Femme Fear. That's not going to be confusing at all. You can find all of my socials as well as my various bits of work at Linktree, linktr.ee/queer mythopoeia, QUEERMYTHOPOEIA, because I'm that kind of a Tolkien nerd. Fun fact, I've been trying to get onto a game of Girls Run These Worlds for like a year and a half, and finally did it, so I'm super excited.
Yay! Also, I personally am very excited because I've been learning ASL this year, and the first time I played with Triss, I was just starting, so like the letters were too fast for me, and I feel like it's a sign of my progress that I am able to follow the letters now and be like, aha, spelling things. Anyway, ASL's great. We love languages. So welcome everybody to a game of Dialect. If you have not seen or read or heard of this game is a game about language and how it dies. Holiday cheer. So okay, the background has got to go. I'm sorry. It's too distracting for my brain. You can see my mess instead. Behold. So today we will be creating an isolation. An isolation is the word that this game uses for the community that we will be following. We will be charting the rise of their language, the pinnacle of their language, and how it eventually fades, or I guess goes out suddenly and with a bang. I have created a custom backdrop for this game. Backdrop is the word that this game uses to denote a setting. And because we are doing the North Pole edition, I have pre-prepared an intro for that. The game, in case you're interested in playing it, provides a number of backdrops and suggestions for backdrops. So you can play this game over and over again, although I have played twice with the same backdrop and it has been great fun each time. So, unless anybody has anything they would like to air before we get started, I will dive in. So, let us see. Being one of Santa's little helpers is nice, yes, if you like that sort of thing. But we've been left to our own devices, and other than the letters coming in and the usual media, it's all been very quiet from outside. If I were running a giant global present operation, which I would never do, by the way, I'd at least want to hear from it once in a while. Maybe send a message or two, or flowers. Gosh, it's been forever since I've seen one of those. At any rate, this home of ice is where we belong now. And at least we've had some more time to ourselves. The experience has been, let's say, illuminating. Got to keep the holiday magic alive, after all. And the first thing we do in this game is we create aspects for our society. We create 3 aspects, and the first 2 are in response to questions. So collectively, we will come up with 3 things that are true about our society. And the first question is, what have we been asked to accomplish?
What have we been asked to accomplish?
This is the question.
I feel like since we're Santa's helpers, we've been tasked with, kind of keeping up with that, as times are changing, keeping up with all the ways that, the boys and girls and everyone else of the world is reaching out for some Christmas joy from old Saint Nick.
Excellent. Christmas joy. Keeping the spirit of Christmas alive. Oh, you are recording. That is a good thing. Sorry, we're taking notes in a collective Google Doc because we are organized. And not sponsored by Google, although I can't speak for the channel, but if Google wanted to send us some money, I wouldn't be mad about that, is all I'm saying.
I will take Google money. Hello.
Yes. I, for one, like money. I'm going to say it on this channel. So, yes, keeping the spirit of Christmas healthy and alive, and keeping up with, what was the thing specific?
The changing technology, the changing time.
Okay, so
We certainly are going to have to manage the massive influx of letters, emails, faxes, and carrier pigeons.
That's a really good
100%.
point.
I was also thinking about the shifting meanings of nice and naughty as time and morals shift and change.
I love that. I also really love, this is me thinking about the whole age thing. If adults write to Santa, this is maybe not even for this game. It's just what happens? Are the elves just sorry, that sucks?
I mean, that can be part of the things that we're responsible for.
That's true.
Yeah.
Filtering the... I like the idea
we will not gatekeep by age. We will not gatekeep Christmas joy.
It's sorting which elves deal with which age group. It's like the male sorting.
That's cute. I also I wonder if it would be cute if we were the one that all the adult letters went to, and that's why Santa hasn't talked to us in forever. Because Santa's focused on kids.
That's why we're getting all the fax letters.
I can't. Yeah, but we're getting all the faxes, and we have a stamp with Santa's signature on it that because he can't be bothered to come and sign letters himself, we just
right.
It has I like the idea that it has a little smiley face carved into it, it's the equivalent of dotting the I's with hearts, but it's just maybe something has a beard on it. Maybe the S has a beard on it. It's a.
It also has a little hat with the bell on the end.
I mean, the real question here is there a marketing department? Is someone elf PR?
There is absolutely elf
There
PR.
has to be.
Because because they have to make it acceptable for when kids inevitably are disappointed when they get a lump of coal.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
They have to find a way to manage that optics nightmare.
I mean, I will say that the people who consider a lump of coal a disappointing present for Christmas are rich people who have the expectation of a warm house.
That is very true. Although the problem, I guess, now is a lot of places have electric fireplaces. Even so, like people who are given coal who could use it, like it feels like it's like you're looking at a space heater and you're like, what do I do with this? You
That's
know?
valid.
Now,
That's
yeah,
valid.
like perhaps maybe some chopped firewood would do as well, because that way you could actually use it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
That's real.
I like the
Whereas
idea of there
coal,
being like dissent about this. Like, there's people who are like, why don't we just send them a check for the energy company?
I love that coal. I love that there's now coal discourse. Santagate.
Yes.
Yes.
This is the true spirit of Christmas.
Yes.
Okay. I think that is a great big aspect. We've got a lot there, so we can move on to the next question, which is how are we outgrowing the current system as it stands? Or in what ways are we outgrowing the current system as it stands?
So the first thing is that with the sheer amount of ways that we can receive mail, there's too much of it. We're getting text messages, we're getting emails, there's a whole bunch of nerds that decided that stationery is cool, and we're getting more snail mail than ever, and it's all dolled up and fancy. There's so much coming in, and there's carrier pigeons. There's too many things.
It's the sheer volume. I also think, not to have this get too socioeconomic very quickly, but like as demands for things rise, right? The demand for things that we get, like there's a trickle down effect, right? If people can't afford things, people ask for more things, right?
Trickle down economics does work.
It does. Who knew? I solved it. Guys.
I think we also hit on one way actually earlier too, is that we're outgrowing it because like kids, gross simplification, are really easy to give Christmas joy to. Here's a present. It's a thing you want. Adults are much more complicated to make sure that they have joy.
Speak for yourself. Send me a check and I'm good.
Valid, but we were talking about the like coal, wood, energy kind of company like thing. Yeah.
I really like the idea of like us struggling to keep up with demand in terms of like just what people need, but also the technology. Because also, if a bunch of people are asking for iPads, like that is, I mean, not to bring corporations into this, but like, do we just order them? Like, should Apple be suing us?
I feel like I shouldn't answer that question.
You cannot, but you cannot answer that question. But I think like the idea of the things on people's lists being more complicated than just like a toy, right? Where you're like, oh, it's a doll. No, I need the Malibu Barbie dream house with moving modular house parts and a stove that talks.
Yeah, the iPad thing also makes me think of like sourcing, because so much of the like rare heavy earth elements that are needed for computers to work are acquired in not great ways.
Yes.
We ethically source everything in that we magically conjure it up.
Yes,
Hell
magic,
yeah.
magic
We're
wins.
elves. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm posting the link to this because
We have learned to defy the laws of physics, in that we can in fact create or destroy matter/energy.
yeah, I like that we're only using that for Christmas presents, though.
Well, we're elves.
Yeah,
What do
because
you
here's the thing.
expect?
It's kind of like the great power, great responsibility thing. Like, our domain is Christmas. We cannot step out of that, not because we cannot, but because we have a duty to remain in our purview.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I also like the idea of us getting a very filtered view of the outside, right? Like, we get Hallmark Christmas movies. And
Yes.
like, does Elf Cable have that many channels? I don't know that it does.
But it's in the form of the Hallmark. We have those many channels, but they're all showing the same thing,
Yeah.
just slightly different.
I love this. So, those are our two aspects. The third aspect is a free aspect. So, it doesn't have to be tied to a specific question or idea. It's just something that is true about our world or our environment. I honestly feel like we have enough here that we could pull a third aspect from what we already have. But
My first thought with going with the obvious was just that we're in the North Pole. Things are cold and snowy and icy, and we're not technically on a continent.
yes. Because I think that speaks to the isolation aspect of the isolation, but also is a significant like barrier to what I imagine would be a lot of expansion, right? Because we stay in our little town or village or however big we want to, or complex. I don't know how big it is, but venturing out may be a thing that we don't do all that often because although we are used to the elements in a certain context, we are not used to them in the forging out into the world sense.
Even like I'm in Minnesota and it's winter here. We do not go outside unless you have to. Like there's a purpose.
Yeah.
Why would you?
Permafrost.
I like the aesthetic, but in practicality, absolutely not.
It's what I'm imagining now is like a half sort of snow globe. Like it's the dome that's around our little area. And so it's like almost entirely frosted all the time. So it's like we're in the snow globe.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like that. Yeah.
Also,
Snow
just because I'm that kind of queen, I'm also imagining that like the edge of the ice has receded with catastrophic global climate change so that it's just at the edge of the glass on one spot.
Yeah, maybe
We're the only thing standing in between the world and total global warming.
I love that. What's like also, I don't know, we might not understand the context of what's happening, but we know that there is a problem there, right?
Yeah.
Like
We're just like, that doesn't look healthy.
Maybe our scientists have a theory. I guess we'll see if we end up with a scientist. Cat, obligatory cat.
Kitty.
I was like, oh, Cat is gone, but Cat has just lowered.
She's on my lap.
to-
She wanted to lay on my keyboard, and I thought, not
Perhaps
the most
not.
ideal
Let her lay on your
situation.
keyboard. What is wrong with you? Good lord.
Just let production fizzle out or just
Yeah.
off stream. Yeah.
I mean, sacrifices must be made. What can I say? So yes. So our three aspects to review are: we're responsible for Christmas joy, keeping up with the changes in technology, the shifting meanings of nice and naughty, and mail sorting by age group. So we're the adult letters, and appropriate gifts, right? And how things change. And we definitely have a Santa stamp, but that is corollary. We are a growing current system because there's too much mail, texts, email, faxes, carrier pigeons, snail mail. Adults are complicated, right? Especially nurturing their Christmas joy. And we are magic, so ethically sourced materials versus what we do. Free aspect is it's the North Pole. It's cold and it's isolated. We live in a snow globe, and the ice is receding. Also, maybe we only have the Hallmark Channel.
There's an earthquake. The snow like stirs up and falls again.
Yes.
It's the same snow every time.
Yep.
Oh
yep.
my goodness. Oh,
It's
I love
snowing,
this.
guys. It's great.
It's snowing again.
I remember that snowflake.
Oh, look, it's the snowflake I made. It came back.
Yep. Great. All right. So the next thing we do after we have created and defined our aspects is that we answer our community questions. So, community questions, I mean, we've sort of already started doing this, but I'm going to ask them to separate players individually. Faye, what does the North Pole look like now?
Oh, it's me.
It's you. You are the chosen one because I
What?
randomly looked at the list.
What does the North Pole look like now? Well, we've got our snow globe, and we know that looking outside that there's what used to be this stretch of ice is now kind of getting closer and closer to our dome. We've got all the snow outside, but inside, I like to think that we keep Christmas all the time because that's who we are. So there's these little twinkle lights of all different colors. There's trees. We've got our own artificial snow that is like when it snows outside, we can make it snow inside too to just keep that going all year round. There's like it's giant candy canes, snowmen and snow women and snow children and all the sorts. Reindeer. It's literally like you see those Hallmark Christmas movies where they've got like the little enclosures at the mall that are like way over the top, and that's our everyday.
Is it based on those? Have we decorated based on Hallmark Christmas movies?
I feel like it because that is our view of the outside world. I feel like that has trickled into our existence because it's like, you watch something on TV or in a movie and you're like, I really like that. I'm going to adopt that into my own system. And since that's all we get, like it just gets more over the top.
Mm-hmm.
This feels like cyclical. Like we influence them for their Christmas joy, and then it's come back into
Yep.
us. Like,
yeah,
Feedback loop.
I love that. I really do.
It's just this endless, like we are influenced by their perception of us, and then vice versa.
Okay, Tris, how many of us are there?
Oh, I think that on this outpost, it's really just the mail sorting department, and so it's into little houses based on age group, right? And the adult side, which is us, is the one that passes the mail on. And I think there's not much interaction between the buildings. Some every once in a while. And I think in our building, it's really just us. And we're the smallest building amongst them. So that like the 3 to 5 building has maybe 48 elves in it. And we have 5 for all of the adults.
We've been assigned budget based on a complicated algorithm.
Based on the Hallmark movies.
Yeah. How much Santa cares about our age groups,
Right. Absolutely. Okay. And Jen, what are some routines we must do together on a regular basis?
Well, one of the routines is definitely sorting through all of the mail to make sure there have no errors have been made. Because we are such a small team, and we have a larger workload than Santa might think, it is very critical that in order to maintain cohesion, we have regular team building exercises and team bonding. So we will frequently do things like we will frequently have breakfast and snacks together. We'll have each other over for dinner. Every now and then we'll have a really brutal game of laser tag or bumper cars, just to make sure that we stay a cohesive unit, and any kind of non-unity really gets hammered out during those games of laser tag and bumper cars where we can really just hammer each other.
Are there trust falls, Jen? Are there trust falls?
What?
trust falls.
There are absolutely trust falls, and there's also definitely bits where when we are doing our weekly replacing the kind of like what's that main piece on top of the tree? Is there
Star?
like a
The ornament, like the
Sure,
tree topper is what I would use.
yes, when we replace the tree topper, we basically make like a human ladder of elves, and we rotate who is on top of it. So we just climb on top of each other and replace the tree topper that way.
Amazing.
And that builds trust, and it builds team, and it builds like the general sense of teamwork.
I love this. All right, excellent. Arc. If something goes wrong, what happens?
Oh, man. I feel like this is just a bunch of chaotic elves who panic and create like a groupthink of just running around screaming. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like
I
we're
feel-
supposed to like report it up, but then nothing ever like comes back down to us. So it's just like a series of like, oh, we have an issue with manufacturing this, and we send a letter up the chain and just like never hear back. We end up having to solve it ourselves.
Is there one of those tubes? Like we put like a little the I can't remember what they're called, but
Pneumatic
like the
tube.
yes, pneumatic tube, and we put something in there and just nothing ever comes back. But we have
I'm
great.
just picturing the pneumatic tube just shoots directly into the furnace.
Yes, absolutely. I love that. I love us being like, okay, we're panicking and freaking out and running around, but someone will solve this, and just no one ever solves it. And eventually the problem goes away.
Every problem goes away if you give it enough time.
Exactly.
Just put this over here with the other fire, and then it can all be together as its own problem.
The next thing that we do is the next thing to do is name our isolation. I think that we've kind of already started in the neighborhood of maybe what is our department name? Like, because we are elves at the North Pole, so the name of our isolation would be the North Pole, but is it like adult division or like post-childhood division?
Post.
I think the post-childhood sits well with the depiction of how our Santa feels about our division. So I like that.
Post-childhood, I love it.
Yeah.
How about post-childhood or sorting, since we're also the ones doing the sorting?
Yeah,
And
post-childhood slash sorting.
That means we get abbreviated as PCOS.
PCOS.
I was gonna say sorting / post-childhood, just because post-childhood is more of an afterthought, but
That makes sense too.
That's
yeah.
valid.
SPC.
Excellent. Then we are going to move into the next phase of the game. And one of the cool things about the book, I have both the digital copy of this book and cards and the real life version. And I encourage you to check out the real life version or the digital PDF, because the art in these is gorgeous, and it's also interspersed with quotes about language. So I'm going to throw a couple of those in here. Some of them are very ominous, some of them are just really fun. But one of the ones here is from Toni Morrison, and it's we die, that may be the meaning of life, but we do language that it may be the measure of our lives. I'm just like, that's cool. I think that's cool. So we are going to draw archetype cards. You will draw 2 cards from the archetype deck, which should be available to you. We are drawing these cards on Roll20. So you will not be able to see it, but it is happening. Trust me. And the way that this works, everybody will take 2 cards. You will choose amongst your 2 cards which you would like to have.
Well, looks like we need to reset the deck.
Oh, yep. Recall all. There we go. Come on, Roll20.
Technology.
We love to see. I'm going to refresh this page and see if that helps me in any way. As I gave a disclaimer to the group, I have had mixed success with Roll20 doing what I want it to do, but everyone should be able to draw cards. Is anyone able to draw?
I'm not.
I shuffled them. Can you draw now? Ah, I had to shuffle them, I think.
I was able to.
I have my cards.
My cards.
Oh.
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 Where I have my cards? I can't see.
Yes, you have 2 cards. It shows me.
I
on
do.
my
There
map.
we go. It was a
So-
size issue.
We have 2 archetypes available, and you will choose one of them to be your character for this game. I have 2 really good ones, and I'm really torn about it.
Same. Oh. How do I want to approach this?
Do we put the one that we don't choose back, or?
I don't know how to do that, so I will recall the whole deck once we. I think once we announce who our character is, we can lay that card on the thing, and then I'll just recall all the rest of them.
Okay, I think I know what I'm going to do. I think I have an idea.
Okay, would anyone like to introduce their archetype and character? We're making things up on the fly.
I'll go for it. Hello.
Go
Hi.
for it. Do the thing.
Hello. I am the innocent. I personally don't get what's the big deal with all of this. With all of this, this us and them stuff, the childhood, the post-childhood. I think if we just came together as one big group of elves, all 69 of us, I think we'd be able to do a fantastic job, and we would be able to sort through the work so much more easily. And people just keep coming up to me asking me if I'm okay and if I need like an extra candy cane at lunch. I'm really fine though.
All right, so we have the innocent. What is your name and what are your pronouns?
My name is fuck me butts. It's not my name.
Faye will write that down.
I've been writing down everything.
But it
I
is
will
a great
say-
elf name. Just a little fuckity.
I will say that fantasy name generator, the love of my life, does have a Christmas elf name generator.
Do it.
I've already got it pulled up. Do you want just the first one?
Yep.
Snowflake Bustlewish.
Snowflake it is. My name is Snowflake. And my pronouns are they, them.
Got it. Snowflake, the innocent elf. A part of the renowned Bustle Witch family. Or unknown Bustle Witch family. I don't know. That's up to you. Excellent. Who would like to go next?
I'll go next.
Go for it.
All right. So, going off of something that we talked about before stream about how I am the youngest of players, I think I'm going to be the oldest of elves with the sage. I'm Tinsel Cookie Tree, and I've been here since the beginning. I've worked my way from the smallest wee ones all the way up because I just love the Christmas joy and pushing it into every aspect of life. I've seen all the movies, and I go out whenever a new one comes through. And now that we're here and we've got so much new things coming in, I don't quite understand the keyboard. It takes me a little bit to type out all the words. It's so much easier when you have the pencil and you're writing it down, but sometimes you need some newfangled materials. But So the two aspects that I identify with are the what are we responsible and how are we outgrowing our current system. But my source of knowledge is what are we responsible for.
Okay. Excellent. I love this. We have the bright-eyed, bushy-tailed snowflake, and we have the veteran elf Tinsel.
Yeah. And Tinsel is she/her.
She/her. Okay.
Snowflake frequently bothers Tinsel and to be like, here, try speech to text. It'll be so much easier.
Is there another elf in here just writing everything down?
It's just like shaking the phone to try and get the elf out.
You need to come out for your candy canes.
Precious. I love it so much. Excellent. Whomst is next?
I can go. Not to be really lame, but I will be Arctic, the elf, but you can call me Ark. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I am the artist, and if you like imagine elf, like Buddy the Elf in the Elf movie when he's in the like Macy's or whatever, and he has all the paper snowflakes. That is my absolute obsession of art: is paper snowflakes. And making them everywhere, even possibly out of the mail we're supposed to be sorting, instead of like junking it. It's just like a collection of letters and snowflakes, and it's everywhere. I'm so sorry. Our office is now a mess of not only mail paper, but art paper.
Oh, I collect them.
So I'm kind of the aspects I'm relating to is Christmas joy, and then also just being obsessed with our like environment of snow and ice and snowflakes being in the globe.
I love that. You are like feverishly cutting out snowflakes, looking at the outsides, like
manically, honestly.
Are you trying to catalog every single snowflake that we have?
I'm getting really close.
Yes, I believe that you certainly believe that. Tris, do you want to go next, or do you want me to go first?
I think I'll go next. I think I'm going to play. I think I'm naming them Pokemint, which is a family name because their hair core hair looks like when you've sucked on a candy cane and it becomes just this spike of peppermint candy. And they've just got tons of those across their head or core head, excuse me. Co uses co, com, and core pronouns, the comrade pronouns, and Co is the leader. Okay, so nobody's gotten back to us yet about the energy bill versus coal debate, and we need it solved. So why don't we just coal is really hard to find out here because it's all ice in the North Pole, right? So let's just write checks for everybody. Very, very harried, very, very speaking off the top of their head, but they're the only one that's doing it.
Trying to herd the metaphoric cats.
Not in charge. I'm not in charge. How many times do I have to tell people I'm not in charge? I'm just one of the elves. I'm just coming up with ideas. Nobody else is coming up with ideas. I need exactly like
as you're just getting a clipboard shoved in your face.
Exactly.
There you go. Yes. Excellent.
And draws power, obviously, from what are we responsible for?
I love this. So I am extremely glad that you picked the Seer Fae because I had Oracle and I was thinking about going with that, but the other one is so much better because you have counterbalance to that with Seer. So I'm going to be the celebrity. And I am going to be Rudolph. And I can't quite decide if this is Rudolph, an elf, and the story about the reindeer has just been blown wildly out of proportion, or this is the retired reindeer Rudolph, who has in advanced age joined. I kind of feel like maybe it's an elf, and Rudolph was the one who solved the problem by attaching lights to the sled, and so everyone was just like, Rudolph is a reindeer that glows. But actually, Rudolph is the elf who worked out how to plug the lights in.
I feel like that so fits our thing with the pneumatic tube of like just going nowhere.
100%.
Yeah. So I think Rudolph's pronouns are he, him, or probably he, they, I think, actually. And Rudolph is here. I don't think Rudolph is quite as like much a veteran as Tinsel is. I don't think Rudolph has been here as long, or at least looks to be younger. But I think that after the stories kind of went around, Rudolph wanted a bit of quiet, and so came to this department voluntarily, but also now is still a celebrity. So I think people defer to Rudolph in a way that he is not comfy with, because like he's very famous for plugging lights in. It's kind of like the tech support thing of, did you try plugging it, taking it out and plugging it back in again?
That's how like Tinsel always comes to Rudolph, and it's like, the tree isn't working like it should.
Yeah, I think Rudolph has become the de facto electrician for no reason whatsoever. Not because he knows anything more about it, just because he's like, well, maybe we should like press the button. And I think, wait, let me check. I think the aspects, I identify with only one of the aspects, and it made me famous. I think that connects to like the Christmas joy thing, right? Is like
That sounds about right to me.
Rudolph became a symbol, right? And once the symbol existed, the elf felt like they were like, where do I belong, right? As part of this story. Because there's something weird about reaching legendary status when you're just like an elf.
You literally saved Christmas.
Yeah, and I think that happens. People bring that up all the time, and it's just like, yeah.
I think Rudolph's favorite moments from Pokemon is like, why are you asking me for answers? Rudolph is right there.
And Rudolph is like, absolutely not. This is your problem now.
I like that a lot.
Meanwhile, Snowflake is passing out hot cocoa.
So now that we have created our characters, I will throw my celebrity card on here also. I will make it slightly. No, roll 20. I don't want to open another window. Stop it. Stop it. Select, move. Maybe.
Santa,
Maybe we
want
move.
Roll 20 to
I just, sometimes it just doesn't do what I want it to do, and that's okay. I'm going to hide this deck. I'm going to recall first all the cards that everybody... Oh, they're all gone forever. Okay. Well, we know who we are, so that's fine. I didn't know it was going to do that. We learn something new every day. If we need to keep the archetype deck out, we can. So let me know if you would like that to be out. But otherwise, I'm just gonna let people. I'm gonna hide that deck and bring out the Age 1 deck. So, as we start off our society, we will draw 3 cards each from the deck. These cards will all give a prompt for a creation of a word that has some meaning in our society. You will choose one of these to play for the first round or the first age. So this is the rise of our language and of our isolation. So hopefully if I shuffle it, you should be able to draw cards. We can but hope.
Yep.
Rockin'. One. I'm drawing them separately because I'm suspicious of roll 20. Okay. Everybody has 3 cards, and you are going to look at these cards and you are going to pick one. And once we have chosen and we are ready, I will go into more of what a turn is for each person, because it will involve playing a card, but it will also involve a scene of some sort to demonstrate the word. And these are also really good options. Faye, I just got one of the ones we played in the previous game, and it just is taking me back.
I've got one too that I'm like, oh, I remember this.
I got the word that created Tiv. Anyway, so if anyone is ready to play, then you are more than able to go first. Basically, what we will do is play one of these cards, and you will create the word based on your prompt, and then you will choose who you would like to have in a scene with you to kind of demonstrate or explain or further elaborate on the meaning of that word. I generally, and I said this to the players in our session 0, but I generally advise no more than like 2 or 3 people in the scene unless everybody needs to be there for a reason, just because otherwise it can get a little crowded. And we also want to end this game sometime before the end of the year. So, does anyone have any particularly strong feelings about going first?
I can.
Go for it. Ark is so brave. Go.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I have filler word. Which I want to kind of attach to Christmas joy. Because I think we are pretty familiar with music in this group. And like there's a particular song which has fa la 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 in it a numerous amount of times. So that would kind of become our filler word. Instead of going like or we'd be like fla fa just kind of like filling it in with those.
Fla 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 fla.
Mm-hmm.
Fa la 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 fa la la.
Yeah.
Yes. A reminder that we are not singing on this stream, but yes, we can use the anatomy of the word certainly as a filler, because it's like our basically, or like, which I know I am guilty of using.
Or you go like blah blah blah, but it's like fa la la, like
yeah,
not sing-songy, just in there.
Just I like the idea of it becoming like such a because they're supposed to be like Christmas spirit in that, right? But it becomes such a mundane thing that it's just like, you know, etc., etc., etc.
I mean, is it not filler in the song itself?
Truly? That is true. Musically, it is also filler. Absolutely. I love that. So who would you like to have in a scene with you to demonstrate the use of this word?
Anyone want to? Excited about it?
Who's feeling it?
I'll join you.
Down.
I feel like Pokemon often gets left speechless.
Yeah, we can do it.
Go for it.
Okay. So we have to set our scene, right?
Yes. So where are you for this scene?
We're obviously in the sorting / post-childhood department. We basically live there, I feel like.
Basically live in this hut, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I assume we're talking about possible work that we're setting up.
Maybe a new shipment came in or something that you have to sort.
All right. I'll come in with
This
like
one. Good.
Sorry, go ahead.
Good.
No, go for it.
You're setting the scene.
Okay. I have just like a pile of letters, and also on top of them is just like a string of snowflakes, which may or may not be the new letters. You don't know as I walk in, and I'm like, a new one's in. I'm not sure what to do with these. There's kind of a big stack everywhere.
Where did you find those ones? It's not the shipment time. The shipment came like days ago. Where were these?
On the receiving dock, where they always are. What do you mean?
What do you mean they were on the receiving dock? You mean, are you trying to tell me that Pine Tree didn't pick them up?
I picked them up. I'm holding them. Here, this is that.
Well, yes, but Pine Tree went to go pick them up. Pala 3 days ago.
3 days have gone by and they're still here. So what do I do with them? You're supposed to tell me what to do with them.
All right, we'll put them on this table here, and we'll start looking at the writing. We can guess age from writing, right?
For post-childhood?
Well, we need to find out. We also need to find out if they belong here, or if we need to send them on to the other age groups, right?
You always make a good point. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. This one looks like they're probably in their 20s, and all these two. So fa la 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 la.
I feel like Ark will just stuff some in her pockets and then also take a stack like over to their desk where there's a lot of scissors.
I like to think that the conversation continues, but Ark is just not listening at all. Like there is a
Big
steady
sounds of fa la
monologue.
la coming from the piles of paper.
I feel like at one point, Pokemon just goes like, "Have you been listening to me?" And Ark is just like, "You've been saying fa la 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 la."
Yeah, I could repeat exactly what you said. Fa la la la.
That's not what I said. That's
what I heard.
Okay. What?
And then I think we end it there with Pokemon just like doing breathing exercises.
Like Wusa, but it's like fa la.
use your breath. Yes. I like this because it's a filler word, but also an expression of frustration, which I feel is appropriate. Excellent. Along with whoever would like to go next, at any time, I should let people know that if you would like to, you can discard a card to create a new word related to an aspect. So it could be a variant word of a word that has already been created. But we are still building our language, so that will probably not happen too much just yet. Who would like to go next and create the second word in our lexicon?
I got this.
Go for it.
So I'm going to create a good luck word. How we affirm our hope and happy outcomes, a spoken wish for victory that bonds us together, a particular kind of luck or fortune for the isolation. And I think how I'm going to do this is I would like my grumpy old lady Tinsel as I kind of shuffle into Tinsel's workspace and plop down what looks to be a tablet.
Oh, it's not even Christmas yet, and I've already got a present.
No, this isn't a gift. We actually have a bunch of emails coming in from some post-childhoods, and we're all swamped, so we're going to need someone to answer them.
Email. I've heard you and the others talk about that before.
Yes. It's just imagine it like normal mail, except it's on a typewriter with a screen.
The typewriters. I remember those when the big man brought them here the first time.
Yes. But these are better. And Snowflake will tap the screen, and it'll just illuminate with 347 unread messages.
Well, this is a lot of Christmas lights in one place. What's this number up here?
Oh, that's how many emails you have to answer.
And I have to, for each of the post-childhood, yes? They're all, that's a lot of people.
Some of them are actually email chains, so you may have to read through the older messages as well. And there's a saying that I've been hearing around a lot that's supposed to wish you good luck. Tinkies. As Snowflake
Excellent.
just scampers off.
And we leave poor Tinsel with unknown volumes.
Getting the Coke bottle glasses out.
I'm just picturing the
Oh yeah,
the
it's
one
it's
finger
one-
typing.
yeah, like even with the typewriter, it's like the poke typing out, and so
The
it's
hunt
like
and peck.
one. Yeah, so it's one finger for sure. It's gonna take more time putting Tinsel in charge of emails than saving any.
I love this. Excellent. So we have our filler word. We have our word for good luck. Who would like to go next?
I think I have an idea to go next, if I may.
Of course.
I'm going to play the past card here, word for the past. And I'm going to see if I can pull in one of my favorite sort of linguistic things, which is that Euro-American linguists thought for a long time that all languages spatialized time according to a movement metaphor, like the future was ahead of you because that's where you were going, and the past was behind you because that's where you were leaving, until they found a language that used, and this is what I want to use for us, that spatializes time by a visual metaphor. So the future is in front of you, or the past is in front of you because you can see it, and the future is behind you because you can't.
Oh,
I
okay,
think-
like the unknown is behind. I like that.
Exactly. And I think in the sort of timeless space of the North Pole, where we can do, give everybody presents in one night, and we're constantly looking at the naughty and nice lists about how people have been behaving in the past, that makes more sense for how we sort of imagine time than this movement metaphor. We're not going anywhere. We're seeing what has happened. And I think the scene, what haunts some of us, I don't know what haunts some of us yet, but I think I want to do it during one of the team building moments, maybe when we're having like snacks, like candy cane pizza or whatever. And Pokemint is, if you two consent, bringing Rudolph over to Tinsel to talk about, well, I can go into it if you all want to do the scene with me.
Yeah.
I'm down for it, always.
Excuse me, Tinsel. I was wondering if maybe you could talk to Rudolph. Pronoun check, because I've forgotten Rudolph's pronouns. He, they.
He, they.
They have not been contributing much to the decision making lately of the post childhoods. I think there's something in their past that makes them reticent to contribute. Can you talk to them? I know you have a lot of experience and, frankly, a lot of past. There's a lot ahead of you.
Yes, of course. Rudolph, you've been having questions, perhaps, of what has been going on?
Well, this time of year is always very difficult for me.
Yes, I remember you were there. I remember the whole story. It was on all of the front papers.
Yes, well, they made a movie about it.
Oh, you must have been so excited to see yourself on the screen.
Well,
That sounds lovely, Rudolph.
Well, I was excited at first because I thought, well, this will be a nice, documentary recounting of what happened. But then they had me sing. Or they had everybody else sing at me.
Well, if you,
Also, I was a deer.
But you're a fine elf.
I know that. I know that I'm an elf. Everybody else doesn't know. Well, then the Hallmark movies. I'm sorry. I know you love the Hallmark movies. I know they're but sometimes they put like. Well, I'm really self-conscious about my red nose and how it gets red when it gets cold outside.
Yes.
They say that it glows.
Oh, well, we just put this in a context. I know, Rudolph, this time for you is a bit more very close to your heart, and I know that Pokemint is very excitable about making sure we all reach our quotas. But
We have work to do.
But just think of it this way, Rudolph. If your nose glows, it's like all of those lovely Christmas lights that you see on the trees and on the walkways. Nothing to be ashamed of. It fills people with the joy of the season.
You think so?
Of course, Rudolph.
Well, I wouldn't mind so much if they didn't have those commercials for the sweaters, you know, with the like light up in the front.
Well, we'll just put a letter in the tube and see if someone can handle it. Part of the main.
Yes. Can we send a letter to the Hallmark people?
Yes, we could do that. After I finish with what Snowflake gave me earlier, I've gotten through.
I think I'll give Snowflake that job. I think Snowflake could probably do that much faster, and that way, we can just. I just want to remind you, Rudolph, that the future is behind you. You don't know what it's going to be like.
You're right. What I need to do is take a step backwards into the future. And I think that's where that scene closes. We love a linear time dichotomy. Excellent. Okay.
I think I want to go next.
Go for it.
So, this is going to be some of my own experiences. But did it not show? There it is. I want to use. I want to create a word for technology. And this is going to be like when how kids are learning new words, or older generations trying to learn the new slang. One word gets utilized for a lot of things. It's how you get chapstick for your lip balm and things like that. I want to use Hallmark for our technology because Tinsel is very much looking at all the Hallmark and seeing the world through all of those things. So it's like, I think for the scene where I would like to present this, I would like this to be with Ark, if Ark is willing. All right. So, setting the scene, Ark is doing as Ark does and perhaps creating snowflakes somewhere, as Tinsel will come over, doing some of the team bonding of sharing snacks. Tinsel has fresh made gingerbread men and has been passing them out. And as she approaches, it's the last two. She's already passed it out to everybody else and had more than enough. She deserves some sweets in her old age. And as she sits down with Ark with the last two cookies, one for Ark, one for herself. It's so nice that you find something for yourself to keep yourself busy. I know that it's so much work. I was busy with creating all the stamped letters for the faxes that have to go out. That's very nice. But Snowflake came over to me and brought me this. It's a Hallmark device. It was bright and shiny. It was a perfect display of Christmas, and then it all lit up, and there were so many letters that were on this device, this little Hallmark, and I was working through them so diligently, but Pokemint came by. You know Pokemint and how Coke can be. Well, the hallmark was sent back to Snowflake, you know?
Well, I wish they would invent something so that I could cut snowflakes and eat cookies at the same time. Because now I have to put this down to eat this delicious cookie you brought me. But I can't believe Snowflake would hand that hallmark to you. What made them think that you would like to do that?
Well, I don't know if it was a like, but it was so busy, and well, it was I want to do what I can. I love bringing all of this joy to everybody, and if that means taking those Hallmark devices and doodling away on them, of course I'll do my part. Maybe we can find a Hallmark to handle the cookie eating for you.
Well, I mean, I'd still like to eat the cookies myself.
Well, the process of picking it up for you so you can eat it.
That's true. Me and you, I think we're the only ones that understand the importance of paper. You know,
Yes.
all these hallmarks, they just complicate things. Good old-fashioned paper.
It's so lovely to enjoy the old-fashioned paper ways. You're harder to come across all those worrisome problems that our team meetings like to go over.
It's true.
And I think with the bonding over paper is a good place for our scene. Oh,
Julie is in fact muted, so we cannot hear you.
The two of you just are fiddling with the paper as you talk, and it's very wholesome and cute.
Snowflake with like a Kindle. We have our paper books. Like,
yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. I love it. Okay. So the last word of this round is going to be mine, and I am going to play the honorific card. And this is no, that's not what I want. A term to show a particular a particular level of respect or deference in the isolation. And I think this also comes from Hallmark. And I think because of Hallmark and the tropes therein, I think the idea of a small town becomes someone being small town is seen as like the pinnacle of what they can be. Because in every single one of those movies, a wildly successful person from the big city it's usually a woman, goes back to a small town and discovers herself. And so I think the idea of being small town means that you are a success and you have found your true purpose. And I don't think it necessarily connects to the love aspect, but I think it has a sense of like home, right? Which I think in some ways does carry over to like the way that some people think of small towns, but I think this is specifically attached to the idea of like once you go to a small town like the Hallmark women, you too will be complete. And I think who needs to be in this scene? I feel like Snowflake needs to be in this scene. And I think that Rudolph approaches Snowflake and says, so you know the secret stargrams that are being that we're able to do this year for morale?
Yeah.
Well, I got you one because I wanted to say that you have been really great, just like helping me with understanding things. And I just want you to know, and I think he pulls out like a giant candy cane. Like, I mean, it's probably like this big, but we've never discussed how tall these elves are, so it could be like cane sized, I guess.
Oh, we're
and
tiny.
or tiny. Who can say? Maybe these are 8-foot elves. We don't know. Um, and hands it to you and says, "I just want you to know that you're my friend, and you're really small town."
And you just see Snowflake's eyes just go big as dinner plates. And their eyes do that thing that cat's eyes do when they see something they really like. The eyes just blow up. And they just admire this candy cane. You got this for me?
Well, yeah. And it comes with some jingle bells.
I'm small town?
You're so small town.
Oh my gosh. Hang on a second. And Snowflake digs into their pocket and pulls out their little their Holly phone, which is, you know, smartphones but Holly.
Sure.
And just grabs Rudolph. Get in here. And snaps a selfie.
I'm
Just
sorry.
candy
I'm
cane.
sorry. Sorry, snaps a what? I think you mean snaps an Elfie, for starters.
Hell yeah.
It was right there.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm sorry. Please continue.
Snowflake snaps an Elfie. Just say candy canes.
Candy
And then they they show it to you. What do you think? Small town?
Small town. So small town.
Amazing. And you watch as Snowflake kind of turns the phone towards you, the Holly phone, and types out hashtag small town buds.
Oh, that's so cute.
And absolutely just sends that to the entire post-childhood group chat.
I love the idea of the various presences in the group chat. This is my great passion in TTRPGs, is working out which characters would be participating in the group chat in which ways.
Yes, Snowflake is absolutely the person using their pocket hallmark, as Faye would say. The Holly phone, aka pocket hallmark, to snap Elfies and send them hashtag small town buds. Small town besties.
Yes. Small town and Minecraft besties forever.
Exactly. Oh my goodness, that's true.
Excellent. I love it.
Pokemint just sends a thumbs up icon to the group chat in response.
You are bare minimum emoji responses always.
Too busy to type out a proper response.
I love that so much.
Tinsel's just forever the typing dots.
Yeah. Every now and then we'll get a message that just says, "How do you hit send?"
Ends up calling the group chat to talk about whatever it is.
Absolutely. Okay. So what we are going to do now is we are going to move to age 2. And I'm going to read our transition, and we are going to evolve an aspect based on what has happened. And we will discard our cards and be dealt age 2
cards. Because, like, they're cards.
Discards.
I'm so funny.
I'm going to make all of them disappear. Technically, you can draw at the end of your turn, but collectively, it doesn't really matter all that much. So I'm going to make them all go away. And I'm going to have the Age 2 deck appear. Recall. Oh, I would so love if it would let me hit the shuffle button. Shuffle!
Unrealistic locked.
Exactly. I'm deeply, deeply toxic. All right. So, entering Age 2. An event to foreshadow the end of the isolation. It finds its way into all conversation and is impossible to ignore. A new arrival. We found it stranded and alone. Why are they, or is it, a fundamental risk to our happy home? And we are going to evolve an aspect by deciding what this is. So what has arrived?
I wonder if it's like a car.
Okay.
It's a golf cart, actually.
Or a snowmobile.
Okay, why is this a threat to our happy home?
Because it's a Hallmark.
Grandma got ran over by a reindeer.
Grandma got run over by a Hallmark.
Grandma.
Oh my gosh.
Grandma
Love it.
got run over by a Hallmark.
I mean, we also live in like a glass house, and if it hit it at all, it could be cracking.
Oh, okay. This technology arrived, but it also maybe impacted the snow globe in some way.
Maybe
That's
we have
how
to
it
repair the
arrived.
glass.
It
Yeah,
broke
it-
through the snow globe.
Yeah. So we're all now bundled
And it
up.
let the worm in.
Yeah.
It let the worm in.
Let the worm in. That's right.
Who let the oh, sorry. Caught myself. I think also the card can allow greater interaction between the huts. So it
Yeah.
challenges that like separation between the age groups.
Yeah, and if the other huts are starting to get together and like, you know, find common ground, because maybe there's like a 3-year-old through 5-year-old hut and like a 6-year-old through 8-year-old hut, and they have things in common, but I feel like potentially we would have less in common with them,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Or at least we would think that we do. Or maybe they think that we do. So I think it threatens our isolation, certainly, but it also threatens the environment, right? Because now we are exposed to the outside elements. I have a furrowed brow when I say that, because I'm like, we're in a snow globe in the North Pole. Confusing, but valid. And elfy.
We need more extreme cold.
We need more extreme cold. More cold.
How can we keep all of our hot cocoa if it's too warm?
That's really the problem. Is our cheerful drinks are warm, and now everything is. The temperature is just out of whack across the entire globe. Our temperature control has gone haywire.
The hot cocoa is no longer as comforting as it used to be.
Yeah.
We have to bring back the cold.
The snowflakes are melting. Where am I going to get my inspiration? Do I have to tear up everything I've ever done?
No!
Oh, this is a big issue. Okay, so let's draw cards for Age 2.
You said 2 cards?
It is, I believe it's 3. Let me check the rules so I'm not lying to you. Principles for connections, play a word. Combine words, use an acronym. No. This is a great book, but it has so many great examples and things that I have to go through.
I need you all to know that my cat is chewing on my knuckle.
In
nom,
your
nom.
cat's defense, that is your fault for having knuckles.
Shit, you're right.
But your knuckles are delicious.
Are they though?
Your cat seems to think so.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's a
I mean-
menace. He just wants to chew on something.
I find knuckles are usually the most delicious parts of people.
To start a new age, follow these steps. Transition to the new age. Read a short passage to frame how the story evolves. Evolve an aspect. Discard a card for their hand and draw a new one for the age they are entering. Oh, so you will have 2 total. You have 2 cards total because you're in theory supposed to draw 1 at the end of your turn and 1 at the beginning of the next age. So you will have 2 H2 cards total.
Okay.
If I will, okay. I have 3. I'm just going to ignore one of them because I don't remember how to return one of them to the deck. So we're just going with this. So as a part of this age, we can go in the same order or we can go in a different order. It does not particularly affect the flow of play. So if there is anyone who has a strong particular feeling about going first or early, then let me know. All right, I shall go first. I'm going to play a new ritual. And I think that with the arrival of the golf cart, this new mobile hallmark,
We
a
love
hallmark app, if you will, has come. Well, first there's the ritual of having to check on the globe because where it impacted the globe, I think it has caused some kind of fracture. But I presume we brought it into the globe at this point. I don't know. What are our thoughts on that?
I think we brought it in to examine it.
Yeah, if it wanted into the globe, who are we to deny it, right?
We have to allow it. And I think that we have discovered that the hallmark on this vehicle plays on repeat a series of 30-second PSAs about what I'm thinking now is, when you go to the gas station and the gas pump has those like, you can extend the life of your vehicle by switching to blah blah blah, or you can try our 2-for-1 sodas, or this energy drink will really help you on those long drives. And I think it's a series of ads, and we've seen ads before, but these are ads on the mobile hallmark, and so perhaps they are superior because they have been brought to us, right? In a way, like the hallmark, the main hallmark is just there, but these have been brought to us, so there must be a message here. And I think that there has been a ritual established of everybody who wants to going to watch this hallmark rotation at least a couple of times a day to kind of understand. That ended up weirder than I thought it was going to be when I started talking, but we're just going with it.
We love it.
So what's the word you're creating? I missed that somehow.
That is a very good question. I think it's Strenergy. And it's the name of one of the drinks that's being advertised. And we're like, we must understand the Strenergy. The Strenergy means something. And I think that some of us are convinced of that. And actually, one of my other options for this word was to create a faction, which I almost did. But I think that there's a belief, a pervading belief that this means something. Who would like to go next?
I got something.
Go for it. I have to create a scene. I'm
Yeah, I was
sorry.
gonna say, yeah.
I forgot to create a scene. So I think that Rudolph is talking to Tinsel and is trying to explain this. I don't know if Tinsel has been to this thing and watched it, or if Tinsel is just like not understanding why people keep going back.
It's got to be the second one. So.
And I think we're in the process of sorting, like it's just a regular day and we're sorting mail. And Rudolph just goes, "You don't understand, Tinsel. It's something new. It's something."
Yes, the hallmark. It came through, and I've seen the other elves that are patching up the dome, and I've seen the other ones that will stand outside as this hallmark moves around, and I understand it perfectly.
No, but we think there has to be a message, right? Why would it arrive here if there wasn't a message to bring us?
It's the same message that every hallmark comes with. It's the Christmas spirit. You know, they're all very small town.
But this one doesn't even mention Christmas. It's just talking about Strenergy.
Well, maybe that's a new term from the outside, and we'll see it in some of the new hallmark that they'll put in the theater soon.
You think so?
That's how it's been for Christmases all around. I've been here a very long time. You think that we've always had the typewriters and those smaller hallmark devices? No, it changes, and you'll see them come in. I remember a time when we didn't even have the theaters and we just had storybooks.
Hallmark storybooks?
Way before Hallmark, there was authors of all sorts, and they would just write these stories, and elves would gather around with their marshmallows and their chestnuts and tell ghost stories.
But did the characters only wear the red and green sweaters?
They wore all sorts of cold weather materials in all colors. It was a different time back then. I must say, I prefer all these reds and greens, and I love the little jingling bells they put on the hats. It's a lovely time.
I am a little worried because it seems like the Strenergy, whatever it wants us to do or to be, it only comes in orange.
Maybe the Christmas colors are changing, but we don't have to worry about that. If the red and green is good here, it will be made clear by the big man, I'm sure, if there was any sort of change.
You're right. I think like Rudolph nervously adjusts his hat and kind of like jingles a little bit just to like shake it off. And says, "You're right. Santa would let us know. You're right." And that's where our scene ends. Okay, sorry. Now we go to Snowflake.
Hello. Do we want to take a break before we hit me? Because we are about halftime.
Yeah, we are at about exactly halftime. So maybe we will take our break right now. We will be back in about 10 minutes for the rest of Age 3. If I had timed this slightly better, I would also be going after the break. But YOLO! So, we will see y'all in 10 minutes. Make sure to get a drink. Pet your pets. Nutriate, as Nox says. The end. Bye. And welcome back to Dialect North Pole Edition. We are starting off our second age, and I have already established one word in this age. And next we will be going to Snowflake the Elf, who will be
Hello.
establishing our second word.
So, here's the thing. There's been a lot of change in a very short time between this golf cart with the new hallmark, and all of that. And some of the elves, Snowflake included, have been getting a little bit too interested in these hallmarks. I'm going to go ahead and create a vice. Shared by some in the isolation that spreads. What is it called and what are the consequences? This vice, I'm so sorry, my brain is not working today. We're gonna call it snelfing.
I love it already.
Tell me
And
about this, please.
it's this strange new thing that a lot of the elves tend to find themselves wrapped up in, where they want to know more about this card. They want to know more about this mysterious hallmark, and they are starting to wonder about what it's really like out there beyond the globe. And some are even talking about sneaking out at night, or sneaking out, in the off times to see for themselves. And this Snell thing has turned into a bit of a thing, especially with the younger elves. And I think I'm going to rope in. Arc and Pokemon for this. As I think Pokemon is probably doing core job, just, literally doing core job. And Snowflake kind of scampers up to our good friend Arctic and just, how are your snowflakes?
I don't know. With all this change, maybe there's different snowflakes now, or maybe snowflakes aren't cool anymore.
So look, no. Snowflakes are super cool. Hear me out. And Snowflake kind of glances over at Pokemon.
Just sorting mail and muttering to himself.
And in a conspiratorial whisper that, for narrative effect, Pokemon will absolutely hear, we'll just whisper, I heard from some of the other elves that there are new snowflake patterns outside the globe.
Outside?
You've been snowfing again, haven't you? There's no point in snowfing. Whatever is out there, it is behind you. We have things that we need to do and routines to do them in, and they're all ahead of us.
But what about the off times, Pokemon? Snowfing isn't harmful.
Snowfing means you're not doing your jobs.
It's not a phase, Mom.
Snowfing means that the letters pile up and these iPad things don't get boxed up and sent out, and Tinsel doesn't get taught how to use the new hallmark.
But look, what if there are other hallmarks out there that can teach us? And what if there's new snowflake patterns for Arc to make more snowflakes?
Do we have a request for snowflakes amongst the post-childhood letters?
Arc, do you want more snowflekes?
I'm post-childhood.
From the humans! From the humans!
Well, do we? You're the one who takes care of all that, do we? You tell me.
No, we all take care of that. If you weren't snowfing, then you would know. Stop trying to peek over your shoulder and see what's ahead of you.
But doesn't it help to have Ooh, there's a word. Foresight. Snelfing gives us foresight.
Yeah, once we get caught up, we can have some foresight. Right now, we need the hindsight.
But then once we get caught up, you're just going to say the same thing. And then we're just going to keep snelfing.
No, if we get caught up, then you can snelf, and I won't even complain.
But we're never caught up. There's always more stuff to be done. If I don't snelf now, I'm never going to be able to.
But your snelfing is why we're not caught up.
I kind of lean over to Arctic and just, okay, maybe if we can get Pokemint into a sufficiently length rant, we can just make a run for it.
I heard you.
Okay, so I feel like that's where the scene cuts.
Yeah, that definitely cuts there. And I think if we've learned any lesson from that, it's that snelfing ain't easy. Who would like to create a word next in our new
I want to jump in to
world?
create a variant real quick.
A variant, okay.
It isn't a full turn. It's just me creating a variant of a previous turn.
Yes.
It's mostly because I don't like my cards, so I'm going to get rid of this discovery card. And I want to create a variant on the past, actually.
Okay.
In that, I think we were talking about how hot cocoa isn't as comforting because it's not as cold in the dome anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've taken to using thermoses, which also means you can't see what's inside, so it's the future. So I think thermos has come to mean an expectation that things will be slightly worse in the future.
I love that. I'm just preparing for disappointment.
Yeah, just that's a thermos, and you might say an event is a thermos, or you might just be like, that's the thermos.
Okay.
I love it.
I could be wrong, but I believe that there is no scene associated with a variant.
There is none. Yeah, no.
Yes.
But I do draw a new card.
You do draw a new card, absolutely.
I have a word.
You have a word.
I have a word. So it's literally create a word. The
A wild
scandal.
card.
Yeah. So I get to choose my aspect that is linked to it. And I'm choosing the new aspect, the one that has evolved, our existence in the North Pole. Now that we have this sort of hole from where the mobile hallmark came in. And I imagine in the few times that Tinsel does get out, now that the air is a little bit warmer, and it's that Tinsel has noticed the elves that are going over to repair the hole in the wall, doing their job there, as well as all the ones that are gathering in this Strenergy. And notices that it is a very cramped environment of elves. And so with it being a change and sort of perhaps not the most beneficial in Tinsel's eyes, there is this idea of a crample. It's almost like crumbling, but because it's all cramped together, that's where the word has come from. So when there's a lot of things and they're all just kind of falling down, it's a crample. And so let's do a scene with this. Maybe going off of the last scene, Ark and Snowflake as they're on their way to Snelf, and getting caught on one of the few walks that Tinsel dies and called over. Oh, it is so nice to see you outside of our little engagement. I know that.
Can't stop, gotta snelf.
Snelfing. What? Hey, tell me, is this to do with that new hallmark?
Yeah. We're trying to figure out like what's out there, you know. Maybe like new hallmarks for me, new snowflakes for Ark.
Well, just be mindful of all the crample that's over in that direction.
Oh. I guess we could bring like... Ark, do you have anything for Crample?
I already have my hands full. I just have like sheets of loose paper in each hand that I could easily put down.
Is that the Crample?
It could definitely add to the crample if you should bump into someone. There's so many elves in that area.
Maybe we should wait until like dinner time so there's less Crample.
Well, whatever you're doing in your snelfing time, I'm sure that I'll see you back in the office with plenty of letters to sort through. And
Would
be
those be a
mindful.
Crample too, but like a digital Crample?
You're right. I think that could also be a crample. Not how I originally thought, but now maybe we should work on tidying our own cramples before going out and involving others.
Oh, a Hallmark Crample.
Oh.
And I think that just takes Snowflake off on a whole idea train. And who?
What the fuck did the captions do with Hallmark Crample?
I don't know.
What did they do?
What did they do? Oh yeah, Crimples. We love errant J. The silent J in Crample, you know. Put it in, Faye.
Yeah, it's Crample adjacent. There's a J in it.
Yes, absolutely. So Ark or Triss, if you would like to play, because Triss hasn't actually played a card this round, right? You just did a variant.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Ark or Triss, whoever is next.
Do you have an idea, Ark? If not, I can go.
Go for it.
I think I'm going to play the Traitor card. And I'm going to not only invent a word, but invent a history for the word. So the word is going to be crack. And it previously meant just a child, because even when the ice sheet is healthy, occasionally icebergs crack off and float off into the sea.
Sure.
But now that there are rumors starting about all of these snelfers being curious about the outside and even wanting to preserve the break in the dome, or even get rid of the dome entirely. So crack is starting to shift to mean traitor and inviting in a certain amount of ageism into the community. If I have that consent, I don't remember. I don't think that was in a line or a veil.
I don't think there was any line or veil.
But I will check consent because it is an oppression thing. If anybody has any issues, please let me know.
Or feel free to message me or the producer.
Safety tools. But yeah, so crack shifting to mean traitor and inviting all of that in.
Okay.
And I think I feel like GN's gotten a lot of play in Age 2, but I think Snowflake might be the one for Pokemint to talk to.
I think that's
about
great.
this.
As long as
GN is
Snowflake,
willing.
yeah.
Snowflake is always willing to talk about crack.
Wow.
I don't know what you were expecting there. Like,
I know what I did. But so Pokemint's going to sort of catch Snowflake in an errant moment and be like, and you're probably running around.
I'm running around, and the second I see you, I'm just what? I wasn't snelfing. What?
Snowflake, it's okay. Actually, I think I'm wondering if maybe your snelfing could be put to good use. You're a good crack.
Snowflake's eyes just narrow. I'm a good what?
I mean, sorry, the words are shifting. I mean, I mean that you do actually work sometimes, and you know a lot of other younger elves, and I'm wondering if you could sort of keep an eye out for them. There's rumors going around.
Snelfing rumors.
Worse.
Crack rumors.
Crack rumors, yes. I was wondering if you could try to keep that out of the post-childhood hut.
I mean, there's all of 5 of us, and one of us, I can guarantee you, is never going to be interested in partaking in crack.
That's true. I've been seeing some requests come in to transfer into our hut, and maybe I could run them by you.
Me?
I think you've been carting around, haven't you? So you might know more about these elves than I have.
Well, yeah, I've been. Is this a trap?
No, it's not a trap. I'm worried about thermosing, you know?
Right. So you think we can maybe take the mystery out of it by getting to know them a little bit better?
Yeah, I'd like to look over my shoulder, and I think you can help. Maybe
Oh, no,
be a
you want to
mirror.
look over our shoulder. Okay. So you want to use snelfing to avoid thermosing?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Okay.
I'm obliged. I mean, I'll let you choose what kind of candy to put on the pizza at our next team building event.
On one condition.
What?
When this inevitably turns into a big cramplefuck, I want an extra big candy cane. There's a fucking J again.
I'm hoping we can...
Cramplefuck is entering the lexicon.
Are you playing a card to make it a variant?
It's a variant.
It's a free variant.
I feel like that's a good place to cut.
That's where we end. Because you just have Pokemon just being like fa la 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 fa la la la.
and then I just look at you and go, Tinkies, and off I run.
The J is really everything. I feel.
I'm putting it in there now. It's canon.
Cramplefuck. I love a good cramplefuck.
This is a canon event.
Yeah.
Crack rumors.
Oh, incredible. Okay. Hark.
Yeah, I gotta follow that up now. That's great.
I mean, just always use the cramplefuck to your best advantage. That's what
I truly wish that I could. What I have is what lies on the outside. So how are we referring to the post-children, people that we're creating gifts for? Because of our obsession with Hallmark and how we understand what humans are, I thought we might consider them a caste instead of like a people, like they've been casted for a show, and they're starring in it.
I like the idea that they are the central character in each of their stories, and we like maybe believe that each of them is a movie. Like
these are documentaries.
These are documentaries, exactly.
This is what's really happening on the outside. There's just a lot of people making maple syrup. They've been casted to do so. They're starring in it.
Perfect. It's perfect.
So I think the scene will be myself and Rudolph, and I'm talking to you about how, because you've worked on the sled. You understand how the gifts are transferred to the cast. And I want to know what you know about them, or like what it was like to be close to the sled itself.
It's just, you know, it's so big. It's so heavy. It's really, really heavy, actually. It takes like forever to get it like to go, you know? I mean, it took us like maybe a week to load up all the presents. And that was with magic, right? So understand that, like, if we had to carry them all, it would have taken forever. You know, I frankly don't know how the people in the shipping department do it. It's. But let me tell you, I heard from one of them that one year, one of the shipping people, they didn't get out in time. They went all the way around. They had stories, man. Stories.
They got to fly and see the cast
Saw
of
the
whole
whole
world.
cast. The whole cast was there. And each of them, they said, you know, some of them were, well, you know, some of them are not so nice. We got the nice list, we got the naughty list. You know, it happens. It happens. Some of them threw snowballs. It's the kind of stuff that gets you on that list. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
Well, it also said apparently it was pretty cold because of the, you know, it's not really insulated for, you know, elf travel. But this guy, his name was Cheeky, right? And he was, well, this was when he was a little elf, you know, back in the day. Not sure what happened to him, actually. He used to like telling this story, but then one day he just disappeared. I always thought maybe he decided to sneak out one more time and he just joined the cast, you know?
You can't just join the cast. You can't just be recasted.
Well, where did he go then?
He must have got transferred to another shop like you did, right?
I mean, maybe, but you'd think we'd still see him at, like, you know, the Snelfing.
I mean, you would think. Maybe he's not a snelfer.
Maybe he's anti-Snelfing, now that I think about it. Those anti-Snelfers, you know, they're... Well, anyway, you didn't ask about that, but Cheeky, if you see him around, you'll tell because he's got the cheekiest cheeks you ever did see. They're just, you know, cheeky.
You're so small town, Rudolph. I can't believe you know all these stories.
Well, you know, you're pretty small town yourself. Those snowflakes are pretty small town.
Stop.
No, you stop. And I think that's where it ends. But delightful.
Also, hi Raiders.
Hi Raiders. I missed you because I was being an elf. But Feb Gamer Party has rated us, and I think Vancouver by Night rated us before that.
Woo!
Welcome, friendos. We are
All
elves,
these
and
friends.
we are at the North Pole creating words.
We are creating a Cramplefuck is what we're creating.
It's
Cramplefuck is
chaos.
now part of our lexicon
Don't forget the silent J.
with a silent J.
Yeah, silent J is important.
We are very much creating the language of the elves. And we are, I think that brings us to the end of age 2, actually.
Yay.
So excellent news for us. Meanwhile, we will move on to age 3. So I'm going to recall all of these words, and they're going to disappear from the screens that our beloved audience can't see. And I'm going to hide that deck. Recall all. Go away. Thank you. And I will bring up the age 3 deck. And you will be able to draw 2 of these cards. And at the same time, I'm going to read what has changed. I'm going to give us our transition. And once again, we will evolve an aspect. And Entering age 3, what was foreshadowed has come to pass. The end of the isolation is near, and there is no escaping it. More of them. They arrived one by one until they outnumbered us. Our missions are fundamentally incompatible, and now they are making it possible for us to satisfy our mission. What drastic action must we undertake? And everybody... Oh, I need to shuffle these cards first. Sorry, I will shuffle them.
Oh, take my cards back because I already drew.
Oh, you were able to draw. Oh, that's fine. Just keep those.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It just wasn't letting me draw until I shuffled because of
Interesting.
reasons. I don't know. We're
Roll
just going
20,
with
go
it.
home, you're drunk.
Exactly. Perpetually is the way that works. So once again, you will play one of these cards and create a word based on it. And I'm reading my cards. Once again, I will remind our audience after this age, it will be our final age, and then we will move into our legacy, where we will draw one card and kind of mark the epilogues for our characters.
So there are people coming in, or things coming into the isolation, right?
Things have arrived, yes.
More Hallmark.
More.
I was wondering, what if it was like human scientists trying to
Okay.
explore? I don't know. More Hallmark also works. It was just an idea.
I mean, it could be human Hallmark, right?
It could be both. Yeah, like let's remember that 2008 movie Happy Feet, you know?
Oh my god.
Lest we forget.
That had all sorts of human Hallmark.
I never saw that movie, actually.
It's a great movie, as I remember it.
My
Oh,
favorite Christmas movie is Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
It sounds like a great time.
Why am I only seeing one of my cards?
Why are you only seeing one of your cards?
I don't know.
It
Let
says
me-
you have two.
I know, and then I open it and I only see one. I'm gonna refresh real quick.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta refresh.
And I still only see one. So I guess I'm playing this card.
Draw another one.
You can draw another if you want. You should be able to.
Let's see. And if I don't see another card, I'm just gonna play this one. I'll make it work.
It's fine.
Oh, there it is.
Yay.
All right, so how does this evolve our aspect? I like the idea of it being something human science related. Maybe it's like, is it drones? Is it
Ooh.
Especially because we're so far north, and
Yeah.
it might be a little bit for people risky with the temperatures that we're used to. And
the hallmarks are flying now.
Yeah, flying hallmarks.
Flying hallmarks. Flowmarks.
And I wonder, I mean, maybe it's just because you mentioned happy feet, but I'm wondering about the like, the scientists who create like the fake penguins, the penguin robots to like send in to like be amongst the herd, the spy camera animals. I kind of want there to be something like that where we capture like a robot penguin or something.
Oh my god, yes.
A
Robot penguin
fake-
done.
A
Sold.
robot penguin? Okay, yeah, hell yeah.
I'm sure all the cracks think it's really small town.
Yeah, really a small town.
All the cracks.
All of them. And I wonder, okay, so I'm gonna play, I'll go first if no one else has a particular desire to go first. And I'm going to play Fracture, which is a group defines itself by not using one of our words. And I pick a previously defined word and I explain why a group has stopped using it. And I'm going through my lexicon and I'm trying to work out which one would be the best to... I think it might be small town. I think maybe the Snelfers have started to believe that there is more out there. And maybe the Snelfers don't use small town to mean like a good thing anymore or success because they're curious about the outside. Does that make sense? I feel like that makes sense to me, but I think that they're wanting to expand their view, and so they're like, what if a town isn't small? What if it's medium sized? And I think is it I'm trying to think of who is in this scene with me. I wonder if it's Pokemon and Tinsel, maybe?
I'm down for it.
And I think Rudolph is explaining why that this penguin. So they found this thing, and it looked like a penguin, and it acted like a penguin, but it wasn't a penguin.
What was it?
It was a hallmark.
The hallmark can't be a penguin. They're too different.
That's what I thought. I thought that there were elves, and there were penguins, and there were hallmarks. But if there's a penguin who is also a hallmark, can there also be an elf who is a hallmark? Or an elf that is also a penguin?
That sounds like some crack talk.
Well, I don't mean to. It's just.
Well,
I'm starting to wonder if maybe being small town isn't all it's cracked up to be.
We're letting things get too far into the thermos here. Let us just. We've had so many winters and Christmases before, and hallmarks have brought so many things. And well, if we've got this new penguin hallmark, then perhaps that can be brought into our small town as well.
I agree with Tinsel. I mean, we can't start wondering if we want to be a small town. What's going to drive us to do our jobs better?
Well, I don't want to be small town anymore.
Well, what would you want to be if not small town?
I want to be a penguin.
That's just silly talk. You're all crampled up.
I think that what's crumpled up is everybody not appreciating the ideas of our society can be different. There can be more.
You've been looking at that strategy, haven't you?
The strategy brings me strength.
I told you, Tinsel, that this snow thing wasn't going to go. Was just going to be a thermos.
Well, I think you're a thermos. And I think Rudolph kind of stomps out of the hut.
Oh no.
And I think our scene ends there. Who would like to go next?
I've got something.
Go for it.
I am baby kitty.
Cat.
Kitty. I am going to initiate a label. Using this word has become a badge we wear. Is it a point of pride or something we are trying to hide? So I'm going to play on the previously defined word snelfing. And as things have evolved, as we start to realize that these hallmarks are here to stay, these hallmarks are coming in, they are doing things like resembling penguins. And heck, maybe one day they're going to start resembling us too. I think that there is a subset of us that have started to properly study these hallmarks as they're coming in, and they pride themselves on, well, I should say we pride ourselves on being hallmark experts, and we call ourselves snelfs. So I think what I would like is I would like a scene with Rudolph as Snowflake scampers up to you with an arm, with like arms full of snarky elves, with arms full of what look to be various lights and pieces of metal. Rudolph.
Yeah, yes. Sorry. I was
Okay,
distracted.
so you know how the Snelfs have been working on a system that will make it less likely that when we're just skittering across the road, we'll just like bump into each other. You know how that happens all the time. The mail goes everywhere. Okay, so we're working on something called a traffic light.
Whoa.
It's a new kind of hallmark that the Snelfs are working on. Now, here's the thing. We can't quite get the lights to work, but I know you had that one super successful light project a long time ago. Could you come to our next Snelf meeting tonight?
Well, I don't know. I haven't done lights in a long time. It would take something major for me to go back to electricity.
How about less running into other people on the way to the dining hall?
Well, I suppose if it would really help, I could take a look at it, but I can't promise anything. It was really more luck than anything that one night I managed to get this going. It was just, of course.
I've got red, I've got green, and I've got yellow.
Oh my goodness. I love them. They're such great colors.
Right?
They're perfect for a traffic light. Is that what you're calling it? A traffic light?
Yes. I actually don't tell anyone, but I kind of stole that from one of the hallmarks.
I was gonna say, I thought I saw. Was this the one where that lawyer goes to the place and there's a carpenter?
No, it was the doctor. It was the
doctor. The doctor goes to the place and there's a carpenter, right?
Yes.
This is a different carpenter than the lawyer one, but
yes.
wears the same shirts, which is confusing. But yes, okay. Well, I guess I could go to a meeting or two.
Yeah, and then you'll see the Snelfs, like you know, I know between everything, between tinsel and you know, a little bit of Pokemon. Like, I know the Snelfs haven't always been super, super good, but times are changing. The Snelfs are just trying to keep up.
That's right. I think that's a really good idea because we got to keep up. I mean,
and we got to stop dropping our letters everywhere and having to sort them all out again. That just takes so much time.
So annoying.
It turns into a big crample fuck. Like, we can do better.
I think we can uncrample fuck these traffic lights. That is the our scene. If we get a t-shirt that says that, I will 100% buy it.
Well, yes, definitely.
Crample fuck or uncrample fuck these traffic lights?
Either.
Uncrample fuck these traffic lights. And you gotta spell crample fuck with the J.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's canon. It's at the end.
The correct spelling is with the J. Excellent. All right. So we have the Snelfs. And who would like to go next?
I think I have an idea.
Go for it.
I think I'm gonna play the taboo card. What was previously a common word is now only uttered in hushed tones or euphemisms.
Ooh.
And I think in a sort of desperate attempt to reintegrate a crumbling society, the Snelf's innovations are getting integrated because they help everything run smoother. But we don't want to call attention to the fact that there's a technological revolution going on, and also kind of in reference to the fact that the drone looked like a penguin. The word hallmark has become this hushed taboo word.
It's always my word.
you just create the most fun words.
You really do.
Uh,
But like you always need to claim that it's magic and not technology and not a hallmark. So you have to whisper if it's a hallmark.
Right. They're big into the concept of Christmas is magic, not technology.
Yeah. Who do I want this scene to be with? I feel like it's got to be with the two like eldest characters. So it's got to be with Tinsel, I think.
hell yeah.
I don't know what the scene is necessarily. Let's see. Maybe just we're like having hot cocoa from a thermos.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Tinsel, this new, looking around, hallmark that that Snowflake and Rudolph came up with is really helping everything run smoother around the area.
Yes, I suppose so, but well, I can't help but just look and see where we've all been, everything that's before us. Back when it was all smaller and you didn't have to worry about so much. Hallmark.
Quiet, somebody might hear you.
I'm just thinking that perhaps besides just branding all the places, the magic, perhaps we return to how it once was. Get rid of all the newfangled things. Go back to the ways of the paper. I recall actually having a mail office here in our little snow globe. And I remember it used to be this entire event, seeing all the letters come in at once.
That does sound lovely, but you can't really argue with results. I mean, I was uncertain about Snowflake ever since pronouns just fell out of my head.
They them
They,
for
them.
Snowflake.
Ever since they were transferred into post childhood, but they've really turned out to be quite the small town crack. And while I share your sentiment for the days when it was really just the five of us, their innovations bringing all of the huts together to do all of the work together really seem to be speeding things up. All of their magic.
Yes, the magic.
And I'm imagining Tinsel just has like this look of like daze in her eyes as she recalls the past and what she has seen.
Don't you think the hallmarks are really just a different kind of magic, maybe?
Excuse my language, but bah humbug on that.
I don't think I've ever heard you use such coarse language before, Tinsel.
I try not to. Usually, it's only when I forget the handles on the cookie tin are a little still hot from the oven.
But this traffic light and the lappy toppies and they've developed more carts to help bring everyone together. Fa la 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 la. They're really doing a lot, don't you think?
I can't deny that I do see work being done around here. But I just recall when the magic was truly magic.
I feel like
And
that's a good ending spot.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a really good spot to end that note on. A little bittersweet moment. Excellent. I think we have Faye and Ark remaining. So who would like to go first?
I can go first.
Go for it.
All right. We've got a promise, an exchanging of words down, and so these are words with intentions and consequences. There's a weight to a promise, and so I think the the word that I would like to utilize here as a sort of signifier for these heavier, more intense promises is I want to say a candy cane. They are important to us here in the North Pole. They are, timeless in a sense, and they come in a wide variety. But you always know when you're looking at a candy cane that it's there. And I feel like having a promise like this, where it's for us, that timelessness but variety is important with these changing hallmarks and magics. So I think for this scene, I would like a scene with Rudolph.
I am so popular, I said, and it didn't pick me up because of I was muted. Hello.
So the scene that I'm picturing here, much like an earlier scene with Tinsel, team bonding through snacks and all. But as Tinsel is approaching Rudolph, it's not the cookies or the small homemade taffies. Instead, there are 2 candy canes. And as Tinsel sort of toddles over and sits down, I know that you don't often like to talk about the fact that you are one of the older elves here. You definitely don't look it, and you're one to keep up with the changing times. And I'd try to, respect the fact that you wish to keep your eyes off of what you've seen and dive into what's behind you. It's for some people. Some elves just are better at that than others. But with all the changing that has been going on and this newfangled hallmark and, excuse me, magic, you're, I would just want to make sure that you don't lose sight of who you've been. And Tinsel will offer a candy cane. It's change is well and good, but remember the elves that are still trudging through the snow.
That's very nice of you. I do love a candy cane. I've always loved a good candy cane. I promise. Sometimes I wonder if there's more than trudging through the snow, you know? Maybe we don't have to trudge. Maybe we could waddle, even. Or bound. Or slide.
It's a fine and well idea, and I'm sure that there are younger elves that would very much be able to hop onto any form, perhaps even that mobile hallmark with all the strategy and but some elves are a little bit more. Well, they see some things through the thermos.
I know that the thermos is there. I mean, I've been in the thermos myself quite a bit. But how about if you're done with your sorting for the day, we could always go watch one of those, old hallmarks. I have a few recorded.
You know what? That sounds like a great time. And Tinsel will take her candy cane and knock it against Rudolph's.
And I think they do like a secret candy cane handshake, like the.
Hell yeah.
And that is where we leave them. Ark.
That was legit beautiful, you two.
That was so sweet.
I'm a red-nosed elf, y'all.
Light of our life. Okay, I kind of wanted to go last because I have a symbol of hope, which I think is a good place to end our age.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not just because I'm drinking a Mountain Dew, but I think our biggest hope, right, is a sign of the big man who wears red. So this is a code red situation. We have contact from the man in red himself. We have been snelfing around. The snelfs are inventing things, and it has caught the attention. And we finally have a response from the big man in the form of like a red envelope that Ark is going to run into our mailroom holding. And I think because of the contents, it's going to be addressed to Snowflake, if you're cool with this.
Snowflake just, oh shit, money!
Code red. Code red. From Santa Crample fucking Claus himself, addressed to you.
What do I do with it?
What do I do with it? I don't know.
What do I do with it?
I would send a letter to Santa Claus. I'm asking what to do with it, but this is the letter.
Let me see. No, you open it. No, I want to. No,
you open it.
No, you open it.
You open it.
Rip.
Glitter everywhere.
I feel like it would just like unfurl itself.
Oh,
beautifully,
100%.
like-
And I feel like as it unfurls, as if the big man himself knew, a folded up piece of paper inside the note flutters to Ark's feet. And as you pick it up, Ark, you see a brand new snowflake pattern.
This is my muse, my inspiration.
As
He
I
always
just look,
knows what to give me.
as I just look at this long list or long whatever. What is it?
I assumed it was just like he wants some technology we've done that has improved our manufacturing or sorting at the main hub.
And you just see Snowflake's eyes just go wide. And they reach into their back pocket, and don't ask how they fit it in their back pocket, but they pull out the biggest fucking megaphone you've ever seen. This is Crample fucking Kraken Penguin Hallmark. Dang!
All the words.
And the megaphone light switches on. And the entire little isolation here is just echoing. All hands on deck!
What the?
Did I hear something?
This is not a joke. We have a code red.
The code red. It's
Is
a good
someone in
red.
charge
No,
now?
the big guy's in charge. It's a good red. Is Santa here? I need to fix
The
my hair.
big guy wants the sleigh to be able to show the reindeer which way to turn next. They call it a turn signal.
I'm so glad we have you, Snowflake. What would Santa do without you?
I don't. I mean, I guess this is adjacent to lighting, but it's not really my area of expertise.
You're just gonna have to make it light up and then go dark and then light up and then go dark and then light up and then go dark.
This is going to be really complicated.
Crample fuck on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Crabble!
Crabble fuck!
Crabble fuck.
I think that's absolutely
Yes.
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 Excellent. So, with our disjointed cripple fucks,
So that also needs to be a shirt with our disjointed
cripple fucks, we are going to enter our legacy. The last moments of the isolation, which it seems has expanded in various ways. So the prompt for this, we don't have to change any of our aspects, but we will be taking a legacy card. So I'm going to recall all these cards and hide that deck and bring up our legacy deck. You will take one legacy card.
It's been shuffled.
It has been shuffled, allegedly. And there should be some options on this card. You will have, you will choose one of these options for your final narrated epilogue. It may be about your character or the isolation as a whole. End your story. And the prompt for this section is, our original purpose. Do we fight on without end, or do our routines for self-preservation take over? Some consider our options. Do we join others and abandon our defining task? Can we? So you will choose one of the three options on your card. And you will end your story.
Can you shuffle the deck? It's not letting me draw.
It's not letting you draw. Weird. Let's see if I can give you one. Huh. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, shuffle. It might take away everybody's cards. Please hold. Oh, it didn't seem to. Okay, I'm going to give you one. Yeah, you should have one now.
Oh, no, I see it.
Okay. I didn't read it. I just gave it to you. Not that it particularly matters. And once you have an idea of where you would like your story to end, you can pick up with your legacy.
I think I've got a legacy.
Mhm.
I'll just do this because we've been doing it all game. Why not? I'm going with a hard decision made in secret. Tinsel has been at the North Pole for as long as anyone has known. A very old elf is she. She's not really been terribly interested in the new additions, at least not outwardly. But she has loved the Hallmark movies as they've come through, just as she has loved the stories before them. And now with the hole in the dome, and as things have changed, seeing the innovations of the Snelfs and
how it's been attracted in the eyes of the big man, and through some conversations, perhaps there is something else out there. Something befitting a elf who just wishes to bake cookies and spread joy. And so, in the downtime, where others may be off investigating this new hallmark or venturing out beyond the snow globe, Tinsel makes a small pack. And in the early hours, one night, takes the original hallmark, the one with the strategy, and sets off into the night to search for the cast and to find her place amongst them.
I love that. Excellent. Who would like to go next?
I've got something. Ark, did you have something? Okay. Snowflake has led a very exciting life these last few eras. From just being a fairly standard elf to a snelf, and finally to the lead, I guess, project manager of Santa's new not traffic lights, signal.
signals?
Thank you, turn signals. Snowflake feels like they have finally found their place in the cast, and they are very excited to begin a new life. We are going to go ahead and go with the prompt, a feeling of relief in your new life. Snowflake thrives in this new role, using their passion for all of these hallmarks that have been flooding in, and drawing together all of these snelfs, even anyone who'd remotely been interested in snelfing once upon a time. And learning everything about how these things work and how to integrate them into our little elf society to make things easier so that we can have more free time and we can have more things like team bonding. And we finally won't have to dress up a very harrowing attempt to change the tree topper as a bonding activity. We can finally have one of these flying hallmarks to just do it for us, and we can bond like normal ass elves doing things like making candy canes. So Snowflake is just having a wonderful time in their new life, planning out what things look like when you have a little bit more time on your hands.
Excellent. We can bond like normal ass elves. Took me out, and I don't know why specifically it was that phrase, but you just want to bond like normal ass elves. Do you ever just want to bond like normal ass? Anyway, I can't. Perfect. Excellent. Who would like to go next?
I think I can go next.
Mhm.
Using the prompt, saying goodbye to what was once normal. And I think we see Pokemint scrolling through the letters, the post-childhood letters on a screen, and it's just swipe left, swipe right, swipe left, swipe right, a lot faster than the old way.
Christmas Tinder.
Get that on a sweater.
Code did insist that it get called Tinsel in memoriam. And in the reflection on the screen, you see Ko like fingering Core hair, which no longer looks like candy canes that have been nervously sucked into spikes, but is starting to round like a proper candy cane ending. as the nervous habits have ceased. And everyone, all the other elves are finishing up working on various hallmarks and the turn signal, all under Snowflake's direction. And Ko just looks over at Snowflake and sort of smiles and waves back, goes back, takes a pot of hot cocoa in a glass jar from a hallmark that keeps it nice and piping hot enough to be comforting, and pours it into Core mug, takes a sip, goes back to work, and then, as all of the elves have left to go enjoy themselves for the evening and the lights are dim and Ko's still there doing the work that Ko has always done, Ko will just look around, nod to himself, sigh, put the hot cocoa down, get up, walk over to grab the newfangled tree topper with all of the sparkles and the message that goes round and the holographic image, and alone will climb the Christmas tree to put it up on top before the drone is able to do it.
Oh, lovely. I love these dueling epilogues here. They're great. Such is the nature of elfdom. Ark, would you like to go next, or would you like me to go next?
I can go. I'm sorry, before that was my dog barking at me and not me talking. So he really needed to be on stream.
This has a lot of feelings.
For elf art.
Let him be a star.
I wish he could pay my bills then and he wouldn't be so expensive. Okay, so Ark has been creating these snowflakes the whole time. And in their mind, like each of these snowflakes has captured a real snowflake or something that's happened. So they have this like collection of essentially like memories in snowflake form that they've been creating their whole life. So my card for epilogue is sharing a memory of the old ways. So as like a composition collection of their artwork, they're going to like write up all these different things that happened with each snowflake associated with it that has been like chronicled, and probably with the help of like tinsel and Pokemon, like some of the people who have lived longer or have better memory of some of these events. It's just going to be kind of a collection of our history through snowflake form. And as we expand into the bigger world, these will have like new places and new events and mark the times of new inventions.
I love that. That's such a wonderful artistic journey. I love this journey for you, as Alexis Rose would say. Excellent. I am choosing to play. I've lost my card. It's gone forever. No, it's right here.
No cards. Never.
No. I'm
No
playing.
legacy for Rudolph.
I'm playing as the walls come crumbling down. And of course, my bestial loving heart just goes in this. No, I'm not going to sing, but there is a completion to that line that my brain attaches to it. How am I going to be an octopus about this? We should ask ourselves. I did go to a concert of theirs wearing an octopus, but that's not the point. Anyway,
Like a fake one, right?
it was not an actual octopus. No, it was like I had like a giant necklace that had like a giant. Yeah. Anyway,
I don't know if I believe you, Kelly.
You don't believe that I wasn't wearing a real octopus?
Exactly.
I wish I had access to infinite octopi. Anyway, that's not the point. Okay, so I'm playing as the walls come crumbling down, and I think that this is maybe a tiny bit more literal than it would be in most circumstances.
No more snow globe.
I think that there is a point at which the snow globe shatters because of the pressure that it's been put under from being repaired so much, right? People have been trying to like uncrack it, and that doesn't work so well. And I think that we expect there to be kind of a huge shift after that. I think Rudolph expects there to be kind of a huge shift after that because the snow globe is gone. But I think Rudolph realizes that now it's just a larger snow globe. We are all the snow globe, really, in our hearts. And I think, as well as working with Snowflake on the Indicator project, I think that once Tinsel leaves, Rudolph starts to put little lights as like little reference points and tries to make it so that if Tinsel or any of the other elves that ever branch out want to visit, they will find it easier to find us, to find their way home. And I think
To waddle through the snow?
to waddle through the snow. And I also think that Rudolph goes into, as well as being a de facto freelance electrician, Rudolph also becomes kind of the animal wrangler of the group and takes a great interest in the local animals, such as they are, and has great interest in the animals they hear of in the media and through the drones and through the movies and whatever other elf dispatches come back from those who have snelfed their way out of the North Pole. And I think that Rudolph takes the kind of post of responding to any of the elves who write home and kind of becomes the contact for the outside world in as much as he is able to. And yes, he still has a very red nose. And that is where we will end our game today.
Fucking love it.
This has been so good.
So this was so much fun. We are playing Dialect, which was released by Thorny Games. You can find it online in both paper, real life, hardback edition, and in PDF. And also, we are using the Roll20 deck. So as well as having paper cards, you could also get the digital deck. You can also get the PDF and print them out and stick them to things, but that is a level of craft commitment that I do not possess. So I encourage you to all check out this game. It is super fun and super versatile. This is the third online game of this that I have run, and it has been very different every time. There are many different scenarios you can play, and I'm glad we got to play a festive version today. I will have some announcements to end our stream today. Oh my goodness, it's 7:50 light. This is the closest to on time any game I've ever run has been. Incredible.
It's a Christmas miracle.
It's a Christmas miracle. Truly, the Snelf is with us today. That's not even how you correctly use that word, but I don't care. We have a lexicon. We will work it out. I'm going to have our beautiful players tell us where we can find them. So please let us know where to find you on the internet, and let us know if you have anything coming up that we should be checking out. We're going to go in what I sort of remember to be the same order that I asked last time. Maybe, perhaps. I think I started with Faye last time. Perhaps.
Well, if it didn't, it's definitely now. Hi, I'm Faye. A reminder that I use any and all pronouns, so whatever you're comfortable with, I'm comfortable with. You can find me as Faye Wild Witchling on most places, formerly known as X. You got to take the link off, so it's just Faye Wild Witch, or at Will the Witch RP. I am almost always there, constantly. So.
Excellent. And let us go. Was it Jen next or Ark? I don't remember. Let's go with Ark.
The suspense there. I'm Arcanian ending everywhere. I'm mostly here. So you found it. This is where I am. I'll be in another one-shot, a One Ring, Lord of the Rings Hobbit one-shot that Julie will talk about on Saturday. And then we have a council game coming up to finish off all these one-shots. 22nd or 23rd. We don't know yet. But it'll be happening. And you can watch us then.
Excellent. And speaking of council, over to Snowflake, aka Jen.
Hello, friends. My name is Jen. My pronouns are still she, they. I have been your friendly local snowflake. I can be found, like as Ark said, you found it. I'm mostly here. I can also be found every other Wednesday on the Bardic Inspiration Network playing Shadows of the Lost and Exandria game. And I can be found a lot of the time over on the Lore Mistress's channel, either producing or playing. We are going to have in early 2024 our Therosian Odyssey game starting back up on season 3. So if you haven't seen it, catch up on the first 2 seasons here on GRTW, and then hop on over there to catch season 3. And other than that, I'm just a burb. Jen Burb on Twitter and various other socials.
Clip that. Clip it right now.
Yeah, I need that.
And on that note, passing it over to Triss.
Hi, everybody. I've got 18 names. One of them is Gandalfina Face and Heart, and I use 3 different sets of pronouns. One of them is B-Bimbos, the bimbo pronouns. I really hope somebody clipped the madcap conversation we had earlier. I forgot to.
Which one?
All of them.
Okay.
That's called the VOD, my friend.
Fun fact, I used to think that turn signals existed to remind the driver they wanted to turn when I was a little kid. You can find me wherever will cast me. So if you have a show that you want to cast, you should cast me, because I am trying to become a TTRPG personality. Got the TTRPG, got the personality. Now I'm trying to put them together. Tomorrow I will be on Singularity Roleplay, playing the penultimate episode of our Locust game of personal horror, in which I play a trans, homeless little piece of shit that will hopefully be able to kill the annoying preacher who is with us very soon. So tune into that at 5 p.m. Pacific. And I will be back on Singularity on Sunday, a week from today, for my second episode of Broken Nights, a City of Mists campaign, in which I play an ingenue fantasy novelist in Way Over Her Head, otherwise known as Scheherazade. The only other stream thing that I have currently scheduled is keep an eye on Enchanting Sorcerer Productions in January, at the beginning of January. For a casting call, I will be running a game of Thirsty Sword Lesbians on that channel starting in February. So please come play with me. I like you. You're very small town. You can also find an article of mine in Girls Write These Worlds, issue 3 for the Pride issue, and issue 4 when that comes out. Routines, I think is what that one is called. And then all of my socials and all of my professional game mastering and everything else you can find at linktr.ee/queer-mythopoeia, QUEERMYTHOPOEIA, because I'm that kind of pretentious Tolkien nerd.
Love that for you. Excellent. My name is Jilly. You can find me at Oh Look It's Jilly most places on the internet. More often than not, you can find me here. You will also be able to find me on Live from the Apocalypse on the 16th when I am playing the Serenity TTRPG run by Anya, who is a regular around here. I think, what is Anya's cosplay name? I cannot remember it.
Lalion cosplay.
Lalion, yes. Anya will be running that game, and I'm real hyped. I'm going to be playing a pilot, so they're letting me drive a spaceship, which is wild. I will also, in the new year, be back on Nerds with Dice at some point. They haven't announced the premiere, but we got a second season of our Masks campaign. And I will also be back from hiatus at some point on Ready, Set, Bake, Kel's Kitchen on Exquisite Corpse Presents when that comes back. You can also find me occasionally on Sword and Key. I just did a 2-episode guest stint on their Humblewood campaign, which is very fun and cute. I was a burb. And you can find me maybe writing for Girls Write These Worlds for a thing. I will have to hit up Ark about that. But I am also a writer and an editor, so you can see me talking about those things on most places on the internet, because I have a lot of feelings about Oxford commas and other things. You can also find me talking about ASL, because I'm learning that right now. And so I want to practice and talk to people about cool language things. This is basically like, this game is the culmination of all of my interests, is basically like the vibe that we're getting here. But now I will go to our actual announcements that are important. Come tune in on Tuesday at 7 p.m. EST for our holiday one-shot of Bluebeard's Bride, holiday horror, where the cast is to find they are the new Mrs. Claus, and that will be run by the lovely Arnica Ross. Friday at 6 p.m. ET, we will have another holiday one-shot, Fallen Mirror, a D&D 5e solstice mystery where a group of scholars, warriors, and magic users try to find the source behind the freezing of the Mirror Falls, and that will be run by Emma. Saturday at 1 p.m. ET, a new holiday one-shot for A Christmas One-Ring Carol. A group of hobbits has found Bilbo to be cold as of late. Can they pull him from this isolation to remind him of what makes life in the Shire so special? I'm assuming we're talking cold emotionally and not physically, because that seems like it could be solved fairly quickly with a scarf. That will be run by Rosie. And in addition to those 3 one-shots and the now 7 that have already been wrapped, and there is a present emoji and a winky emoji that I'm not sure if Ark is directly responsible for, but yeah, I want to convey those to you. There will be 3 more holiday-themed one-shots between now and December 22nd, so stay tuned to catch all of the holiday fun. And I think does that include the council thing that you mentioned, Ark? Yes. So more details on that will happen eventually. So stay tuned to all of the social medias. Other than that, I think that wraps up our wonderful festive elf time today. So I will hopefully see you all on the internet soon, and I hope you have a wonderful, safe, and pleasant holiday season. Goodbye.
Hanukkah Sameach. Happy Yule.